Hey guys, it's Young Wealth. Now today we have to talk about something very important about Quant and the future of Quant right now. You guys must understand, in June, I was looking at Quant at a price point of $44. As we speak today, the price point is around $183. That's a 400% move to the upside. And not only is that a 400% move to the upside, that's a 400% move to the upside in a confirmed bear market. Now, why is this very important? Because in bear markets, coins tend to be on a downtrend where they're making lower lows and lower highs, okay? But QNT since June has been ripping through, making higher highs and higher lows. So why is this important? Because not only are we in a bear market, we are also in a time where the economy is very uncertain. So what does this bring? It brings a bit of risk for investors. It brings a bit of uncertainty for people wanting to put their money in assets. So you're going to see a lot of investors holding back and waiting for lower prices because the markets and the economy and the community is all agreeing that we might be in a recession within this next year. So the fact that Quant has did a 4x in a time like this, what can it do in a bull run? That's the scary thing. We are nowhere near getting started. We're just getting started. We're not even begun yet. So the thing you have to think about is that when you go on the all-time graph for QNT, if we look at the all-time high, QNT has really only had one major bull run. And the reason is because it kind of launched a bit late. It launched in June 2018. So it didn't really have a lot of time for the community to catch on with its coin and the utility, right? So its major first bull run was 2021. Now you guys must understand, when you go on Bitcoin's graph, what does that look like to you? When you look at 2018's bull run over here, then you look at the 2021, the 2018 bull run looks so minuscule and tiny compared to the previous one. Why? Because we know that in the future, and when you look at the patterns of the crypto market altogether, most coins always outperform their previous bull run in the present bull runs. So with this knowledge, do you really think Quant will be under $1,000 for long? Not me. I don't really think, you probably have 2 to 3 years to buy Quant for less than 1,000. And when it goes to 4 figures, it might not be looking back because 1,000 is still a very low expectation. Why do I say that? Because that's only $600 away from its all-time high. That means if it was at its all-time high, it would only have to make a 60% move to get to 1,000. So when I say 4 figures, I'm not talking about the low thousands. I'm talking about 4 to 5K. Now, I don't want to be out here predicting prices and trying to predict the future, but that's just a reasonable prediction. Now, one thing I want to show you guys is very important, right? That will actually confirm my argument. Now, when we look at Quantoronto's tweet over here, it says, if QNT reaches Dogecoin market cap peak, we will see QNT at $7,000. If QNT reaches XRP market cap, we will see QNT at $12,000. And guess what? It's going to do both those things. In the comments, you might see doubters saying it's not going to happen. It's cap. People are lying. But let's just be real. XRP's all-time high in market cap was around 100 billion. Do you really think Quant is not going to hit 100 billion market cap in the future? And this is why it's very scary, because I told you guys, I pointed out, it's had one major bull run and it did crazy numbers. But guess what? This is without big institutions being educated on QNT. When you look at the IMF and the BIS, they don't really have a lot of knowledge on QNT and they don't really know its ability like that. So the scary thing is we have coins with more value with less utility. We have Dogecoin ahead of Quant. What does that show you? The markets are not fully grown up. They're not fully matured yet, because we don't have trillions in the market on trillions, okay? The highest one was around 2 trillion, but we've not had trillions poured into the market. Why? Because there's not regulation yet. But when regulation comes and they get rid of all the scam cryptos and the coins that have no use case, what's going to happen? It's going to be ISO coins left, right? And Quant is part of that. Now, I want to show you guys something very important. When we look at QNT's partnership, we can see it's partnered with all these big brands, Google, just look at that. I'm not going to read out every brand, but it's even partnered with coins. It's partnered with Ethereum, Bitcoin, XRP, PayPal. You have to understand one thing very important. Even with all these partnerships, the big institutions still are not well educated on QNT. When you look at the IMF, the BIS, they're more onto XRP than they are to Quant. What does this tell you? Congratulations, you are an early investor. Okay, so when you see QNT at a price point of $200 and you see it going down, yeah, you might lose money in the short term with these little drops in prices, but we are playing with petty money right now. When not your petty money, I'm saying petty price action, because at the end of the day, if this was Bitcoin's market cap, it would be like more worth than Bitcoin. Why? Because it has less coins in circulation supply. So I want you guys to understand, when you care about losing 10% here and there, you have to look at the big time scale. When there's adoption and coins that have utility are going to be the main ones to stick the time and test the time, what's going to happen? Investors that have billions are going to feel confident in the best coins. And we have no argument that Quant is one of the best coins, because it simply is one of the best coins. When you look at the use case, interoperability, it does it all and it does more. When people say it's an ERC20 token, you have to understand it was created on ERC20 token, but at the end of the day, it can link with different networks. So when people say it's an Ethereum token, yes, they're right. It was made on the Ethereum network, but that does not mean anything, because it has the ability to go to different networks and make those connections. So when you're looking at QNT, you have to look at yourself as an early investor, okay? Because that's exactly what you are. You're here before the big institutions. That's why there's only $2 billion in the market cap. If institutions knew, it'll be way more than 2 billion. But it's not. But that's okay, because when we get Bitcoin market cap, eventually it'll be worth 300 billion. Let's just be real. And that'll put it way ahead of Bitcoin. So with that being said, that's all I really have to say in this video. I just want you guys to understand that anything less than $1,000, we are winning. Anything less than $1,000, we are winning, because 1,000 will not be the end. It will be just the beginning. So when you guys have worries that it might go back down below 100, you have to understand this is petty price action. When you look at the long term and when you look at the potential, when these big boys come into the game with billions of dollars, thinking, where can I put my money? What crypto is the best one to do? They're going to get people to give them information and show them the best coins with the best utility. And a lot of these investors are going to overlook the old-fashioned coins like Bitcoin and go into the things that actually are going to be here and be used and be vital to the blockchain. Bitcoin is not vital to the blockchain. Okay, I'm sorry I had to say that, but QNT is, because it has the ability to make these important connections. So with that being said, I want you guys to understand, keep holding your QNT, do whatever you want, but one thing I wouldn't do is own zero QNT. That's one thing I'll never go back on. I will never be a point in time where I own zero QNT. So with that being said, it was the Young Wealth, and I'm signing out with another video.